Hello everyone. Today we are going to take a look at a very interesting product, and that is an intelligent powered camera, IP camera or security camera. This also has a pan and tilt mechanism, so you can adjust the orientation of the lens remotely, and this should work only by the solar panel, which is interesting because I always thought that this is kind of a gimmick because an IP camera uses a lot of power, especially being wireless, so it might not be a good idea to put a solar panel on, and might actually be a security lackness of security, because if you don't have sun, it's a cloudy day, your camera will not work, and I don't know, and we are going to see what's that about. But there's a thing that I want to tell you. For instance, I have these battery operated cameras. They are not IP cameras, they are cloud cameras, security cameras. This also is a doorbell, but they are truly smart. They have things such as infrared motion detection, they have humanoid detection. Both of them connect to wireless networks, and both of them will work on batteries for months. So this one, for instance, I think I have charged it something like 6 months ago, and it stood outside in winter at even at minus 20 degrees centigrade, and it still has some charge in it and it still works. So probably this camera, it's not a regular IP camera that you buy for $50 or $30 or $10. It's probably something else that uses very low power and has this solar panel. So let's see what we get in the box. And of course we get a manual, and it's not a big manual. We do get some instructions, some diagrams, and a few things about the app. So this is an app-based camera. We get a template. This is for when you want to fix the camera. It's a sticky pad. You fix this on your wall, and you have markings for where you need to drill holes to fix the camera support. Of course, the solar panel. The solar panel is rather big and heavy, and it's a good solar panel. I'm saying good because this is not the cheap flexible type panel. This is kind of glass covered or some kind of thick polycarbonate over it, so this will last a long time even in harsh weather. It will not get faded, and dirt will collect on it, and it will turn all white and murky and will not let light pass. So this is a good material they have used on the panel. And underneath the panel you get this box, and there's a catch with this camera. It's not only solar powered, this is actually battery powered camera, just like the other cameras I have shown you. And in this box here you can install up to 6 lithium cells that we are going to install. It uses regular 8065 cells, but you need to have them with button top, not the regular flat top. Also, you have here 2 plugs, and you have a charge plug, and here is a power on off switch, so you can turn this on off, and the charge plug will charge the batteries. And it's a great idea because this actually works as a power bank for the camera. So you can put USB power here, it will charge up the batteries, and if the power fails, the solar panel will keep the batteries charged up. Well, at least in theory. And what else we get in the box? We get a lot of mounting hardware. We get a screwdriver, a hex key or Allen key. We get dowels, we get screws and smaller screws, and we also get a charge cable, which is micro USB. And of course the camera itself, which is rather big. It looks like a regular IP camera or security camera, dome camera. This is metal here, it's a metal support. The camera side is plastic, and of course camera body is plastic. We get here a sensor for, probably it's an infrared motion detection sensor, and we get a combined array of lights. It has white lights and infrared lights, so it can have colored night vision using regular LED lights. And it also has a microphone and a speaker built in, so it has two-way audio. It also has 2 wireless antennas, and I'm going to show you something. Here you can see a wire and another wire. Well, this means that the antennas actually are not fake antennas, because there are some cheap, very cheap, similar looking IP cameras that come with 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 antennas, and they say that it has great range. And most of those cameras don't actually have wires here, and those are just fake antennas. Usually the panel will sit on top of the camera. It goes in like this, and you can rotate it around, and you have locking screws included. And this also has a tilt mechanism, so you can orient this for best way possible to catch as much as light. So you need to study where the sunshine is coming from, and that's a good idea. It also acts as a protector for the camera, as the water will not drip on the camera. It's another good idea. But there's also an extra kit if you want to buy. If you want to install the camera somewhere and put the panel in another place, there is a lead extension kit, and there is also a support that's similar with the camera support that hooks up to the panel, and you can fix this somewhere else. Now let's take a look at the charging unit here. So I'm going to undo the 2 screws that hold it in place. Please take note that this comes only with 2 screws to aid you to install the batteries, but you get the extra missing screws here in the bag, and also the locking screws there, so it's all included. And the cap is almost off. Alright, needs a bit more, and that's done it. And what you get here, it's 6 battery slots. They are all in parallel, so it's very important when you install batteries here, lithium ion cells, they should all be at the same charge level or fully charged. Do not insert partially discharged with fully charged batteries, otherwise you risk of melting something or making these type of batteries explode. Also, you need to use tapped batteries. This is a normal flat type battery which has some welded nickel tape here, but this is just for demo because I didn't have one with the top here, a button top. And let's do a quick check. So the battery is connected, and now I have the battery at 3.69 volts, which is not fully charged nor fully discharged. It's somewhere around 40%. If I orient the panel towards some light from outside, you can see that it's now starting to put a small charge into it. It's very cloudy outdoors, so this is also indoor through several windows. I'm also going to test the regular USB charger, and I'm going to plug in the cable, and let's see what happens. I'm going to power on the charger, and you can see it's starting to charge, and the voltage already jumped to 4 volts. So of course using a USB charger puts a lot more current into the battery faster, and also a green blinking light there. So as you see, the panel works as it ended. It has the battery supply, it charges over USB, and the solar panel also provides some power. In case you are wondering about efficiency, the panel is rated for 8 watts of power, and the camera is rated for 4 watts of power, so the panel should provide 2 times the work current for the camera. So the extra juice that you are producing should be enough to store into batteries while the camera runs. And now let's connect the camera and let's see what happens.
The camera is now ready to begin pairing.
So it said something that is ready to begin pairing. Hopefully it means that it's ready to use the app. It has a blinking LED there. The app is named U-Box, and you can find it both on Android and iOS. It's very easy to install the app. You need to create an account. It just needs a password and an email and activate that account. Then you have to build a home here or family.
The camera is now ready to begin pairing.
That is very annoying and very loud. And then after you create a family, they call a family, in which you say the country and something, I'm going to skip that. You just add device and set up wireless device. And yes, my camera is blinking. Yes, and then you need to select here the device type, I think, front door, living room.
The camera is now ready to begin pairing.
It's actually where you have installed it, so it's not imported, and where you have installed it, I have called this test zone, and I'm going to click on next. I don't want to send my data, and now I need to enter the settings of my wireless. So you need to write your own SSID and then insert the password, and then I'm going to click on QR code configuration, and I need to take this off, of course. And now I need to scan the QR code with the camera, and let's see if this works.
Information received.
So that works really nice. And camera is installed successfully. And it says that it's online, but that's not my room. There you go, I have video right away. So setup was really easy with that QR code. Rather impressed by the workflow here, because I had some other cameras using similar technology, but they could not scan the QR code. It was a true mess installing them. And with audio settings, such as making some tones from the phone while the camera microphone was listening, this is a lot more better than what I was being used to. The layout of the app is rather basic. You have this cloud option, and the camera comes with free cloud, as they say in the manual. We are going to test that. And you have this interface. It also works in landscape mode for the image. You press this button and you have a full image there, and you can go back to regular portrait mode. You have this speaker here. This is for hearing the microphone of the camera. I can turn this on, but it will be too loud because I'm too close, so I'm going to put that off. So the microphone is always recording the sound, and you can adjust the volume in the app. If the camera is installed somewhere else and you access this from the internet, you are not going to have any kind of audio problems. Then you have this snapshot button here. This will take a picture and should save it to the album. Then you have the record button. This is the microphone. This is for talking into your phone, and you are going to hear it there. So that's how it sounds, but yet again, I'm too close to the camera. You also have some voice effects here. You can change the voice to make it thicker or some effects. That's kind of weird. And now let's go to the other settings of the camera, and that's through this button here. And we have another series of settings. So we have settings for the memory card, and that's very nice. You can also enable here the cloud video, and it says that I don't have a memory card, and you get some instructions of what memory cards to use. Then you have the image flip, and that depends on how you install the camera. You have the scene mode, which is very good for choosing some kind of weird situations, such as backlight compensation or night mode, if you mostly use it in night mode. It also has a dynamic mode. Then you have the detection sensitivity, and I can put this on low, and we'll see if this works or not. It should give me some warnings. Then we have the active time. This is how much the camera will work and record when it detects something, or when the motion detection has been activated. You have this option to use always, and just read that. So the infrared sensor will stop working, then the battery will run out in the next few hours. So exactly as I told you, this camera is not operating full time, so it's usually in kind of a low power standby, and activates when something moves, and records, sends you a message, and then enters in standby mode if that subject is not moving anymore. But it will record as long as there is movement, and it will run on batteries. If you power this on with the USB, probably the battery will never run out. You also have some quick gestures, such as adjusting the volume or the image brightness with up and down. Then you also have double tap to zoom in. and this is light brightness, and tapping in to make zoom in, but it's not optical zoom. Then you have this button here. This is night mode right now, which is infrared. So if this gets dark, it will wait for a bit of time, and it has switched to infrared mode, and it's now lighting up with the infrared light array. But I can change that to this type with bulb, and that's color night vision. And when it gets dark, this will switch to normal white LEDs, and they will light up pretty good as they are rather powerful, and this will generate color night vision and also warning and deterrent. If you go back from the device settings to me, you also have here some other extra settings such as the cloud service, and the cloud service is actually free only for 30 days. You need to pay up if you want cloud, but it's not a big con because you can always use your micro SD card and that will be free. Then you have these common settings here, and you get some extra settings such as mute when some things like viewing, playback, default resolution, you can go to HD, that makes the image better but uses more bandwidth, and some other things for or like talk duplex. This is best to turn off. It will not make such a mess and noise when you are talking and listening. So that was it for now. I'm going to try to do a follow-up video because it's a lot to talk about this camera, so I've tried to contain the most technical aspects about it and the installation and how it works, if it works, the panel, the batteries, and so on. I'm going to try to do a second part sometimes later with actually some camera footage, some performance aspects of the solar panel, so kind of a follow-up video, but that will come at a later time. Until then, be sure to leave me comments if you want to find more about the camera, or what tests do you want me to perform on it, or more questions about it, and I'm going to try to answer you as best and as fast as possible. Until my next video, see you and bye bye.